Hey guys, so welcome back to the vlog. I'm doing something a little different for today's vlog. I'm actually working on some Easter DIYs for the girls' baskets, and I tried something new out today. I have seen these like all over Etsy and everything, but they are so expensive. So I tried to make them myself, and honestly, it's not too bad for my first try. I've learned a lot since I made this one. Like, I've learned what not to do and what to do. So I am going to keep this one to give to them because I don't feel like toddlers just don't take very good care of things, and I feel like no matter how well I make it, it's still going to get pretty messed up pretty quickly. So this is how the first one turned out. And I will probably give this one to Caroline just because she's a little more rough on her toys, and this one was my first try. But I'm going to show you guys how I made it and what to do, what not to do. So I got most of the supplies from Joann's. Like this little pretty sparkly like ribbon stuff is from Joann's, and I like it because it just really makes it more elegant and girly. And I tied it through the sides, as you can see here. So when I first started, I did just regular thread just to put it together, and then I went back through over the other thread with this sparkly, I guess you could call it like a thicker thread kind of stuff. So I went back through with a thicker thread, and then these are just little iron-on patches that I found that I thought they were really cute and elegant. And I cut out a little heart and then just did another iron-on patch down here. But I really like how it turned out. Like I said, you can do it any way you want it. You don't have to make it like this. You can really add your own style to them, which is what I like. You don't have to do it exactly like how other people make theirs. I would say that the stuffing that I got to fill it is not the greatest. There's better stuffing you can use, but I already had this stuff on hand, so I just am going to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and hop in on the video on how to make your little rabbit wand. So this is everything you will need. So I went ahead and traced out the design last night. And one thing I want you to know is when you do it, it does not have to be perfect. It's made from the heart, and I am not I am trying to do these well, but I have never done them before, so there is room for like mess ups. And don't be too hard on yourself when you're making these. Your kids will never notice the boo-boos. Like, they will just think it's amazing that you made it for them. So this, when you cut it out, I did not do this when I did the other one, but you're gonna want to like cut the black stuff off of here, because even though you're gonna like sew this up, you're still gonna see it. And in the other one I did, I could still see the black coming through a little bit. So I'm gonna trim off all this black before I do it. And then you're also going to need your iron-ons, scissors, thread, a needle, this sparkly thread that I got, and your little cutout for your heart, which is made out of this, like, I don't know what you would call this. It's like felt, and I got this from Joann's too. But you're going to need that ready. You can go ahead and cut it out at any time. And then you're going to need these little sticks. These are also from Joann's. And then your stuffing. And you can see what I was meaning when I said you're going to, like, the other stuffing would be a lot better because this is just really thin, and I think it made it a lot harder to try to stuff the rabbit with. But this is everything you're going to need. And I don't have a real good setup to do like these DIYs yet. I am going to be getting like a light and stuff later on, but this is just going to have to do for right now. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. Like I said, I'm going to start with cutting off this black here first, and then once that is done, I'm going to start sewing up the side. And when when you're sewing up the side, like I started like in the middle, went up the ear around, and then went up this ear and around and left like a big hole right here and then stuffed it. Now when you're stuffing it, make sure you're leaving like this part open, because you're also going to need to stick your stick up through before you sew that up. So make sure when you're leaving a spot open that this like center part is open also. So that way when you have all stuffed, you can sew a seam right down through here and also sew right over your little stick.
There's a hole in the gray sky where the sun comes through. Baby, can't you see the patch of blue? There's a silver lining if you care to see that things aren't as dark as they sometimes seem to be. Everything changes, nothing stays the same. Everything changes, only change remains. Change. There are good days coming, there'll be blues too. To take the good with the bad is what you need to learn how to do. 'Cause life ain't waiting, holds no brakes. It moves like a rolling stone, and you could be lost if you hesitate. Everything changes, nothing stays the same.
So I got my thread all ready, and my mom taught me this. So you line up your thread on the bottom,
Okay.
wrap it around your finger,
Can I sit?
pull it off, and then pull it down. Do it again. Then you got a little knot on the bottom. See right here. And sometimes the knot will pull out. You just do it until you got a good knot on the bottom. So I'm going to start up on my ear. Since I want to hide that like little knot, I'm going to come up first so that the knot is on the inside. See, the knot is not big enough. It went right through, so just tie it again. So let's try this again.
Mom.
Okay, that's better. And then you're gonna go down through, kind of make it a little bit far apart, 'cause this is going to be your starter. And I count this stuff on the sides. You can fix that later on. You can just cut that. But I'm going to go through it up and down 3 times just to make sure it stays.
Mom.
And then I'm going to come up a little bit farther. And if your thread starts getting caught up, just pull a little bit out at a time until it gets unstuck, like unknotted. So this part takes a little while, so I am going to probably get back with you guys when I am done sewing the whole side, and then when I'm ready to stuff it. But you get the general idea. This is what the seam is going to look like. go up and down 3 times, and then just keep going all the way around the ear, and then this ear, and then down here, and make sure you don't sew the middle part.
Everything changes, only change remains.
So you can see I just finished the sewing around the edges. This is how it turned out. It's a lot cleaner than the other one because I did the other one late last night and I could barely see. So this one is a lot better. But I got it all the way down to the bottom, and I'm leaving this whole part open so that I can stuff the ears and the face real quick. And I already cut out some of the stuffing for it. So this is double layer, so I'm going to separate this and then cut it in the middle so I can stuff the ears first. I always do the ears just because they're at the very top. So I'm going to roll this to where it can fit up in the ear. And then I'm going to stuff it up through. So I'm going to actually cut a little bit more because it comes to about right here, and I need it to come down a little bit further. So I'm going to cut a little bit more to bring it down. So I got a little bit more. I'm going to stuff it up there and see if it works better. I kind of pushed it really close together, so I needed just a little bit more to make the ear full. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to do the other one real quick. And this side needs a little bit more, so I'm going to add a little bit more on that side too. Alright, so the ears are stuffed, and now I'm going to work on the middle, the face, and then I will sew it up. So on the face, you're just going to stuff around the sides first because you gotta stick your stick up through the middle. So stuff the sides first and the top right here. Stuff around the sides and then the top. Alright, so I'm going to push that to the side a little bit so I have room for my stick to come through. And then I'm going to put this on the other side. So I'm leaving like a hole in the middle for the stick to come up through the stuffing. So I'm going to go ahead and stick the stick in to make sure, yeah. So it's going to go in like this. And so last night I stuck a little bit of super glue on the top of the stick so that it would stay, and then that way I can kind of just stuff around it and work around it. So I'm going to grab my super glue real quick. So instead of super glue, you can also use hot glue. So I couldn't find the super glue, so I just put a little bit of hot glue on the end of the stick and then stuffed it up in there. And now I'm going to finish stuffing around it just to make sure that the bottom of the little rabbit's face is like all full. And you want the bottom to be pretty filled out, just because sometimes the stuffing can move around and then it won't look full. Like I said, this one's turning out a lot better than the other one, and you can see I already cut my heart out, so it's ready to put on. I'm probably gonna hot glue this on too. But like I said, it takes practice, and you don't have to be hard on yourself. Like if it doesn't turn out perfect the first time, like I said, your kids are gonna love it either way. So I'm going to finish sewing up the bottom here. Just make sure it's like held together. So I want to show you guys this. When you're sewing, it's easy to like let the stick slide over to the side. So since I'm now in the middle, I'm going to do a seam around the stick, just because I'm on the other side now. So I'm going to come back around this side and join it so that I can make sure that that stick is sewn in. I'll show you how to knot it. So I always come back up through the middle, like underneath. You always want to knot it so that nothing comes undone. So I'm going to come back up through the middle, and once it's on the inside, my thread is on the inside. I don't know if you can see it, but my thread is on the inside. I'm going to go back through that seam that I had done, go underneath of it, come back around. You see this little loop right here? I'm going to stick my needle through the loop and then pull, so it creates a knot at the end of that. I don't know how many loops or knots I'll be able to do because I'm running out of thread, but alright, so that is knotted, and now I'm going to cut it, and it is done. Alright, so it is done, and the seam looks really good. Everything looks good. The stick is already in, and it is hot glued to the middle, so it should stay. It should be pretty secure. So now I'm going to hot glue the heart in the middle for his little nose. So I just hot glued the heart on the middle of the bunny, And now I'm going to go ahead and do the patches on the ear and on the nose. I might do hers like underneath the nose just to see how it looks. And then probably tomorrow I'll do the pink threading around the side and then add the pink thread on the bottom. Alrighty, so that is done, and I was gonna put this one on the side, but I just didn't like it. Like, it looked like it was like an extra thing on the side of its face, so I didn't do that on the side. I kept it on the nose because I do like it on the nose for some reason. I think it just looks elegant. So all I have left is the pink threading around the side and then adding the pink thread on the bottom. I wanted to show you guys this quick DIY too. I got these little eggs from Dollar Tree, and all I'm going to be doing is just filling them with these little hair ties. But my girls always need hair ties. They run out of them so quickly, so I thought this would be a cute idea just to add to their little Easter basket. So I'm going to do that real quick. So it's the next day, and I'm going to work on putting the little sparkly thread around the rabbit, and I'm going to start at the bottom, and just like I started the other thread, I'm going to go on the inside. So I just finished both of them, and I added a few touches. I added little sparkles to the end of Caroline's, and then I just added one gem to Gwen's, and I added this white ribbon. But I'm really happy with how they turned out, and I think this would be a really cute idea to do for your girls for Easter. It's just a really pretty elegant Easter gift, and something that they can use for like dress up or playing like princesses every day. So the next DIY I'm going to be doing is these little Easter bunnies. So this is how the first one turned out that I did, and it actually wasn't as hard as I thought. So I'm going to show you how I did it, so that way you can do one if you want. These are really cute. You can use them as like little ornaments if you do like a little tree for Easter, or you can just let your kids play with them. That is probably what I'm going to be doing with them. I'm just going to use it for their little Easter basket and put it in with their other gifts that we got them. So this is the supplies you will need to do this craft. You'll need felt, large, medium, and small little like wood beads. As you can see here, I already have them open and ready to go. And then of course yarn or whatever you want to use for the top part. And then of course you're going to also need a pin, and I just actually freehand the ears and the little flower around its neck. If you want to use a stencil you can, but I just like to freehand it, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to start out by drawing the little ears, and then I'm going to do the flower. And you can clean it up with the scissors. You don't have to have it perfect. Now I'm going to do the flower. Alright, and there you go. You got the ears and the flower ready. So now I'm just going to cut these out, and then we will put them on with the beads. So I forgot to mention also earlier, we will need hot glue for this craft too. For the ears, you will be sticking hot glue in the middle and then sticking the ears down in, and then hot gluing the ears together. So that is another thing you will be needing for this craft too. But I'm going to go ahead and put the little beads together. So you're just going to poke it through the little one first, and then it's going to be like this, and then you're going to poke both sides through the bigger one. And sometimes these beads can be a pain in the butt because they tend to have like wood chips in the middle, like they leave wood down inside of these, so it's not always easy to get the wood or the thread through the wood or through the little hole. So I think that part actually takes the longest, is just trying to get the thread to go through the beads. And it is actually harder with this thread too, because it's got like these little frays on it, so it doesn't always want to go through, but it still comes out looking really nice. So I would just say, maybe if you don't want it to take so long, just use a different thread. But I had all my stuff already sitting here, so I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and use this one because I'm not gonna go upstairs and get a different type of thread. And you're going to do the same thing with the last bead. Oh, actually, I missed a step. We're going to go ahead and cut the hole through the little flower, because the flower, as you can see, it goes on before the last bead goes on. So you're going to bend the flower and just cut a little hole in the middle for the thread to go through. So my battery just died, so I had to charge it, but as I was saying, you're going to cut a hole through the middle of the flower so that way you can stick the thread through. So we're going to stick both sides through. And then now we can stick the head on. So what we're going to do now is, since this is a little long, we're going to cut the string a little bit. And then we are going to knot it at the top. So I'm going to cut it about right here. And then I'm going to put a little knot at the top of it, and that just makes it easy so that it don't all come apart. I'm having a hard time doing this craft with long nails because I'm still getting used to wearing like acrylic nails, and it can make doing things like this a little difficult. But there it is all put together, and what we're going to work on now is doing the little face. And you're just going to take your pen and make sure like that the face is laying down. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You want to make sure the bead itself is laying down flat, so that way it makes it easier to draw the face. So there is the nose, and then for the eyes, you're just going to do a little loop. And you can leave it like this, or you can add little eyelashes. And there you go, you got the little face. It's a little harder to draw on the wood pieces with a pen. It might be easier to do it with a marker, but I also have had a hard time with markers just because they seem to bleed a little bit, and it can make it like look like it's running. So it just depends on whatever you feel more comfortable with, and I'm not really great at doing like drawing. So okay, so now we are done with the face, and now we are going to work on the ears. So I'm going to go use hot glue because I have my hot glue gun plugged in the kitchen. So I'm going to go hot glue these on real quick. So we have the face right here, so you're going to want the ears pointing straight out. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue in this little hole on the top. And then I'm going to make sure the ends of my ears are stuck together. And then I'm going to stuff them down in that little hole. And I'm going to hold it there for a second until it dries. And then next we are going to hot glue the ears together. So now I'm going to go in between the ears and I'm going to put a little hot glue down here. Kind of spread it around a little bit. And then I'm going to press them together. And then on my other one, I also hot glued the lower part of the string to the ears. So I'm going to also do that on this one. I'm going to hold the string together and then put a little bit of hot glue just down on the bottom to make sure that they are really good, held on there really well. And you don't want to burn yourself, so just kind of pull the string and then pull it into the hot glue. So I got this little container from Joann's, and I was actually looking for a container that had a little bit bigger spaces, but this one is the only one that they had, so I unfortunately had to find a lot more stuff to put in it, but it ended up turning out fine anyways. This is the one that I did already, and it's already ready. I just got to put Caroline's name on it, but everything is in it and it's already ready for her to open on Easter Sunday. But now I'm going to show you guys how I did this one and show you what exactly I got to put in the little spaces. So I got this sand from Dollar General, and I've just figured this is another good idea for them to play with. They can put their little beads in it, they can add glitter to it, they can put the eggs in it or whatever they want to do. So I put the sand on the far sides. And some Dollar Trees also have this type of sand, so you can use that sand too if you can find them. My Dollar Tree did not have any sand, so I wasn't able to get it. And then I also found these little bunny stickers at Dollar General. So I put these in this little space right above the sand. And then next I'm going to be putting in the carrots. And the carrots go right in this little spot. And then these were also in the same pack of stickers. All the stickers came in one pack, and I'm going to be putting these up here. And then I thought these were really cute. They're just like little bunny butts. But these are adorable, and I'm going to put these right here in this spot. And then I also got these little containers and these little beads from Dollar Tree. I just thought they were a cute little idea, just to keep their beads in a container, and that way they can store them. I feel like the girls are probably going to destroy this little activity box on Easter, and these will probably get used for something else, but I'm just going to put these right beside the little bunny butts. And then I also had these glitters already from doing another craft, and I was like, I might as well put these in there with them. They are going to make a mess with them, but it's just another way for them to use their imagination and have fun. So I'm going to put these at the top on either side, and they fit perfectly in there. And then these bunnies are so adorable. They're little bunny erasers I got from Dollar Tree. But they had so many, and I was like, this would be perfect to put in their little activity box. So I'm going to open these up. And they are going to go in the center. So that is what it looks like so far. And next I'm going to be adding the little glitter putty. I also got this from Dollar Tree. And it's going to look like this when it comes out of the container. So I just take my scissors and cut it in half, and then you just fold it a little bit and it goes right in. So I got this Play-Doh from Dollar General, and they have a lot of cute like little Easter color Play-Dohs right now. Then next I have these little eggs that I got from Joann's, and they had a lot of cute little colors. So I'm going to be placing one right here, and one up here, and one on this corner. So now we have 3 spots to fill, and I'll show you what I'm going to be putting in those. So in this little section right here, I'm going to be putting some little gems that they can play with. And I got these from Dollar Tree too. So I'm just going to place these down in there. They tend to want to flip over as soon as I put them in. So I'm going to show you what I put in these last 2 spots, and then I will put the ribbon on the top and show you how I did the little name tag. So I got some 6lets, and I was just going to put them in their Easter basket, but I was like, you know what, while they're doing this activity, it would be fun to put a little snack in there for them. So I was like, I'll just use one of the sections and put a few of these little 6lets in there. So that is the next thing we're going to add to the activity box. And I'm just going to put them in this little section. So I found these beads at Joann's, and I was like, these are so cool and just so pretty looking. So I was like, I gotta have these and add these to their little activity box for Easter. So that is the last thing we're gonna add. And then that is it. So that is everything for their activity box, and now I'm just going to close it, and then I'm going to wrap ribbon around it. So for the ribbon, I'm going to be using the same ribbon I've used for like all of their Easter gifts. So I'm going to double it up. So these name tags I got from Joann's, and it came in like 3 different colors. Came in white, cream, and then this like brown color. So I'm going to take the stamp that I already had. I had gotten this for Christmas for a craft that I was doing for Christmas presents for my family, and I've just had it sitting up in the office, and I already had this paint too, and this little paintbrush. And you don't have to do this. If you have name tags, you don't need to do this part. But all I did was take a little bit of paint off the top of it and wiped around the little stamp. Make sure there's enough paint on it. Place it in the center. My girls bedazzled the stamp earlier, so. And then just press down. And then just pull it off. And that's how it should turn out.
I've seen those faces, I've heard all the lies, but you ain't gazing on someone in denial. 'Cause you want dollar bills right now, but you gotta work real hard. I know you want it to be easy, so let your guard down. And I said, but something knocked you out. You felt your limitations and filled your mind with doubt. You wanna stay chill right now and don't let your eyes off the prize. I know you want it to be easy, so let your guard down. And I said,
so that is it for their DIY gifts for Easter and their Easter baskets. I feel a lot better that these are already put together and I don't have to worry about that next week. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and we will see you in our next video.